Yeah, it's not hooked up yet.
It'll back working on it.
Oh, now it's doing it. Yeah, hold on, you're coming. Oh, there you are.
There you are. Oh, there he goes. There he is. Tag, you're it.
You hung up?
Duck, goose.
Yeah, Duck, goose. He hung up.
I hang up the phone because I'm on the phone hearing you guys. Good grief.
Good grief, man.
Technology, right?
It fucking sucks.
Like I heard thing in here. Whew. Good grief. Man, I'm telling you. Well, I messed her up because I changed one. So
he changed the password, so I couldn't get in.
Had to update.
Yeah, you still there?
Yeah, you still there.
Am I on?
Yeah, you on. You're rocking back and forth.
Okay. Well, I just don't see my face. I don't know why.
Can I remind you to look in the left-hand top corner?
I couldn't see myself. I know that.
It says we are live.
Over there? That's my
Oh, right, you hit the live button again? You hit the live button again.
No, I didn't.
Okay. Who did? I did not.
That for me.
I did not hit the live button. Hi, everybody.
It says we are live.
Who hit the live button? Yes, you did, Louis.
52 seconds ago.
Well, here we are.
Good evening, everybody. Glad you all can make it.
I didn't know.
Sorry we are late. And we're here. We made it. I'm sure all of y'all heard our discussion about the old password change and the delay. So, shall we see who we, since this is an open discussion, shall we see who we have in the chat tonight?
Well, good. Let me start it off. Okay, we got, all right, yes. We got Chris Jarvis. What's up, Chris?
How you doing, Chris?
We got Bill and Carol King. How y'all doing?
How y'all doing?
We got Big Rob in the house.
Big Rob.
Big Rob.
Big Rob. You know what's funny and stuff? It's like whenever I think of Big Rob, I think of Muscle Beach and Venice Beach.
Oh,
you know.
We got Sharon, my friend. What's up, Sharon?
Oh, we got the Bacon Slayer in the house.
Oh, what's up, Bacon Slayer? We got Slayer's Johnny Half. How you doing, Johnny? We got Diana. Diane. We got Ken.
Ken, you know, he's got a spot named in my area.
Oh.
He has a spot named in my area. He saw it on a video and he's all, hey, you need to go back to this spot and check out this spot. And it's a total perch. It's just all weaved and there's like rocks sitting there for like ammo. It's pretty crazy. So I named it Ken's Place.
What?
Oh, okay. We got Parkway. We got Joe Pass, the Squatching Cowboy. We got...
How you doing, Parkway? How you doing, Cowboy?
We got Tom Paul. What's up, Tom Paul?
Johnny Half's in the house.
Trying to find... Oh, we got Lewis in the house.
Long time no see, Lewis. Glad y'all can make it tonight, man.
We got Squatchoholic.
I know. It's been a while.
Yeah. Wonderful moderators doing double duty.
Oh, we got SoCal in the house.
I almost finished your name. When I said hi, I just got.
Yeah.
Sorry.
If you see me doing this, that's because I have the iPad over here.
And we got Carol Ricker in the house. How you doing, Carol? All right.
Diane Fowler.
Yep. Oh, Diane.
Y'all can make it. Yeah. So, how has everybody been? Lewis, we understand your uncle is in the hospital, and we send prayers to him.
Yeah, he's in critical condition. So he's not getting any better, but they had to shock him to life like twice. So, but he's still on life support still. So, he's not getting any worse. So just hoping he gets better.
He's gonna get better. He's gonna get up out of that thing.
Y'all may have seen him in the chat, John Rodriguez. He is one of our awesome, wonderful moderators. So let's send prayers out to him in full force and hope he pulls through this and get him back in the chat moderating.
Yeah, that's the only guy I hung out for 20 years. I've hung out with this guy all the time. Right. The only guy I hung out with. And yeah, it's pretty tough to see him in this condition, but we're all going to have to be there one day. But damn, it sucks.
Yeah. That is the one definite in life that's going to happen. There's no escaping that, you know? So
yeah, that's not good.
Yep. But let's hope he pulls through.
And he will, because he's tough. He's tough.
He's built like bull.
Yeah, he's stubborn. That's for sure.
He's a good guy. He's very good. He's a good guy.
Yeah, he's a pretty good guy.
Yes, he is.
So
I have got to plug my phone in, so hold on a second.
So if anybody in the chat has any questions for any of us, because this is an open discussion with our wonderful chat, please put them in caps.
Yeah.
I do not know what.
Yeah, or if you want to come on, you don't have to show yourself. Come on.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Lewis is at the helm tonight. So, you know, I don't know if you want to throw that link out there, Lewis, out in the chat and spin the wheel, or
I don't know if I can get it out.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can get it out. Because I'm on the cell phone, so I don't know. Let me see. Yeah, right. I don't want to lose myself.
So, you know, Slayer has well, kind of a statement and a question all rolled up in one. So here's a topic for the confusion of the mind. Are the hairy guys and gals in the woods possibly nature elemental spirits? Could be why they have spooky powers. Well, I can only tell you what I know is that there are elementals, which are the natural spirits and stuff like that. And then there's Sasquatch, which is a very ancient race of people. So, two completely separate things. And Slayer, a channel you may want to watch, or two channels actually, would be Into the Veil and Arkansas Bigfoot, Ken Keene. So check them out. They really delve deep into that stuff right there, man, and they've gotten a lot of answers. So yeah, so check them out, Slayer. That'll probably answer a lot of your questions. So that's just.
I'm trying to be still, but I'm inside of a garage, just sitting on a
right. And you're probably sitting on a very uncomfortable stool.
Yeah, it's at the one of the cars, and you know, it's kind of hard to sit here. You know, man, be still.
Yeah, but Parkway says Red Delicious or Gala. You know, mine prefer Red Delicious. I've tried green apples and they didn't touch them. Red apples disappear every freaking time. They don't mind the Gala because those are the kind of the yellow and red.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't having the green though. Ain't having the green, but they love the real, just the Red Delicious apples. So.
Thank you, Diane. She said she likes my Bigfoot.
You don't like the sour.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, it must be. There's probably a little bit more on the bitter, sour side, you know. So I don't eat apples. It's probably best for everybody that I don't.
Take them a candy apple, and that's a green apple underneath there too.
Yeah, you know, but I don't want to start rotting out their teeth. I mean, it's not like I don't already take them vanilla cupcake goldfish, but you know, I don't.
What?
That's something.
Well, you're telling them what you're doing is you're just trying different things. You know, like a pumpkin.
Right.
That was pretty
Right.
cool. You brought the pumpkin out. I don't think they've ever seen one.
Right.
What?
Right now we're developing a menu.
What is a good thing to feed them besides? Because, like I said, I do honey buns. They love honey buns. You know.
Well, I mean,
they love dog food. They love cat food.
No, I'm not gonna feed them dog food and cat food.
Well, a lot of things
They
love dog food and cat
They
food.
love that
So,
down.
Peanut butter brittle.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I know they like I know they like peanut butter.
Well, you would think so. Mine love peanuts.
Yeah,
but
that's what
I've put peanut butter jars out there, and I just recently did that a second time, and still they have not touched it.
Now, do they like unsalted peanuts or
they do love
regular?
No, yeah, they've got to be unsalted.
Okay, good.
Yeah, they'll be unsalted, but the peanut butter they won't touch. I don't know why it is, but it's funny and stuff because last time I left that jar out there, man, I unscrewed it and I barely just put it on and just enough to hold it with the hopes that they'll mess with it. The lid will spin and fall off. They'll see what's in it and go for it. You know what I mean? Yeah. No, I got back and the lid was tightened on the jar when I got back there. The lid was tightened on the jar. And when I left it, I barely left that lid on there. I mean, if you had picked it up, it would have fallen off. But that lid was tightened on. I literally had to crack it a little bit.
Normally, if they can't get in, they just put a hole in the lid. You know.
But yeah, bite the end of it or something. You know, they'll just bite into it. But
they put their finger right through it, just like Barb and Gabby up in Washington Green Waters.
Right.
It hurts all the time. Put the finger right through the lid and rip the lid right off. And then they eat the most of it out of there, and then what she say, something eats the rest of it and cleans the whole jar out. The Bigfoots are not the ones that clean it really clean. It's something else after the fact that cleans the whole thing out. She gets a ton of like fingerprints on it and everything on her stuff because of that.
Yeah. I did the lid again and I left it out there one more time, but this time I set the jar at an angle and I just set the lid on it. So even if it's moved a little bit, it's gonna fall. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
But it's the second time I put the jar out there and they haven't touched it. But I mean, last time I put the jar out there was in Fletch's area and I completely just gift bombed the whole place. There was grapes hanging from lines. There was apples everywhere. There was rocks and seashells and a jar of peanut butter. You know, I probably thought it was a trap or something, but and I recently just gave Fletch gave him his own bucket. So hopefully he'll figure that out.
Sharon asked you a question.
Yeah.
What's that? Glad Fletch got his own bucket. Have you ever gave them popcorn? No, I haven't, and I've been meaning to for a long time now. But I want to get like the microwavable popcorn that doesn't have any butter or salt on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I just every time I'm out and about, and I just don't think about getting a box of it. But yeah, I want to try popcorn for sure.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Yeah, sardines. I know they love that stuff. I put a sardine can out there with just because I wanted to test and see if it would just be a regular animal taking it. I would have one sardine can open, partially eaten by me, and then another one opened all the way full, and then another one closed, and then no animal's going to take a sardine can that's closed. And I don't think they're going to, because even when my dog gets something for food, he can't smell what's in it. Like even at the store, he'll smell. But I know he loves that, and he would take it, but he can't smell inside the package. So I don't know if the Bigfoots can do the same thing, but they even took the closed cans. And I don't think another animal would just take a closed can. So it kind of gives me an idea that they actually took that sardine. you know.
They probably took the closed cans
when that Bigfoot came out.
Right. They probably took the closed cans
because they knew what was in it.
Back to where they can spend time to mess with it to try and get it open.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's what I think.
Oh yeah, I've seen
and
Parkway.
I'm not going up there to go retrieve the cans. Huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Parkway says ever detect sense. A couple of times actually. Once when I first discovered them, Fletch growled at me. Actually, Parkway spent a week reviewing that video, and he was able to track Fletch from where he growled at me all the way through the weeds to where he stood up and watched me. And he did an awesome job. He sent me, I mean, like frame by frame, circled right here, right here, right here, right here. You can see this black spot moving through the bushes.
We went to the cave.
Right, right. That's exactly what they did. They just, and he sent me a picture of one of Fletch where he was kind of out in the open. He just balled up into a ball, tried to look like a bush. It was pretty funny. But you can clearly see his back. I mean, the bush isn't there now, but and then he was able to get back into the deeper stuff. But right. But it's funny because that place is, it's a teed out, it's a fire road that goes straight and then one that tees off and hooks around going down to the bottom. Well, after the whole Fletch growling at me thing and he moved back, he had gone down the hill and across the road that hooked around and went down the hill. As I decided to go down the hill, and that was when I got the smell of just like raw sewage and just skunk and urine and feces. And it was like, you work on construction sites, you know what a porta potty smells like 6 months on a big job site that hadn't been cleaned.
That's disgusting.
And it was just a wall. It's like you walked into it for about 8 feet and then you walked out of it and everything was fine. It was just a wall. He had come down the hill, across the road, and back down into the bushes. So he probably thought I was coming after him because I had gone that way, the same way he went. And that lays, credence in some sort of evidence towards the fact that they have scent glands, like a skunk. When they feel threatened, they can emit those scent glands, which deters predators or people. So that's just my personal experience,
Yeah.
So
Yep.
Let's see.
Huh. Yeah, I never smelt anything where I'm at. Never. I don't know why. I mean, I'm right there where they're sleeping at. I know exactly where they're staying at. I mean, I know where they sleep, and I never smell anything, no matter which way the wind's blowing. Nothing. That's kind of weird.
You know what? I've been in several areas too where I didn't smell anything. I mean, when Fletch growled at me, I didn't smell anything. When he moved back and stood up, I didn't smell anything. I didn't smell anything. He probably crossed the road right in front of me as I was coming around the turn. He knew I was coming around the turn, and he probably went, "Oh crap," and freaked out and blew off this stuff. But I mean, even after that, even now, I don't smell nothing.
I encountered it twice. I've smelt it twice. I've smelt it when I was in Mississippi. It was kind of like stale deer urine, and like, I don't know, kind of weird. But the other one I smelled was like musky body odor. It didn't stink bad, not like in Mississippi, but he had more of an odor. Yeah. I'm about to go shoot that bird. You hear me? I'm about to go away. I'll be right back.
She's all, bam.
Christy's gonna have parrot for dinner. So she's having parrot for dinner, and but yeah, I mean, as for smell, I mean, I definitely feel that they have scent glands that they can, you know,
Yeah.
control like a skunk for sure. You know, because
Yeah.
most of the time I don't smell nothing. You know, I mean, I've been in several areas where I've been growled at,
Yeah.
and rock was thrown at me, and I could tell it was only 20 feet up a hill behind real thick bush, and I didn't smell
Yeah.
nothing. You know, I mean, there was
Yeah.
only a couple times, but you know, I mean, I think it's definitely a
That one video that
controllable.
you told me that you seen the eye shine looking up at me. Remember? So when I walked
Oh
up to that
yeah,
cliff and I was looking down and there was a dark area, I couldn't see it on my phone. I had to go, and when I went to my uncle's house, I
on the
turned
big
on the computer
screen.
and I was looking at that. And I was like, and I saw his eyes. He was looking up. He was laying down there, right in that dark area,
Yep,
and I couldn't see him for nothing.
yep,
I was only
yeah, the one I
20
pointed out
feet
to
from him,
you.
and he was looking up
Yeah,
at me, and then he turned his head real quick and looked down.
yep,
And
that
I
was
was standing in
Fletch.
that spot, and I was like,
Yep,
no, not that
that,
spot, my
yep.
spot
Oh
in my
yeah,
area.
yeah, in your
Yeah.
area.
That one,
Yep,
he was looking up at me on the road, and I was like,
yep,
I was looking down at him,
that's right.
and in
You
the whole
sent me.
area, I couldn't see him. He was so black.
Yeah, yeah,
And I
that
was
one
like, what the
area,
heck?
that one picture you
That's
sent me, and
weird.
I immediately circled it and sent it back to you.
Yeah,
But yeah,
you saw it.
when you
Yeah,
blow it
and
up, you can see him.
No, I
you could see his
never
eyes.
lost.
No, I haven't.
Have you, Luz?
No, I mean I'm always lost in time, but I don't know if it's according, due to Bigfoot.
You're a space cadet.
Yeah, I am. I mean, look at my hair. I mean, come on, tells you a lot.
Modern day Albert Einstein is what that hairdo is. No, but yeah, I mean,
uh,
I mean,
yeah,
I have experienced not so much. You know, I don't know if it was time lost, but definitely I was what got me into getting more local and local of areas to me. Um, was that one place that I don't go to anymore, Fawnskin, and that was where the two bodies were found, right in the middle of the
yeah.
area I go.
That's probably Dogman
I
though in
don't.
that area.
Yeah, I don't think that had anything to do with Bigfoot. I know Bigfoot gets blamed for a lot of
I've
stuff
heard a
that they
lot of
don't do.
Dogman encounters over there. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Um,
I've heard a
but
lot of Dogman encounters over there.
I mean, I'm really good with direction. Lewis can probably attest to that a little bit. You know what I mean? And um, I know where I'm going. You know what I mean? I carry a compass with me and stuff if I need it, but I just have this natural kind of GPS when I'm out there. And I knew where I was going, but I had gotten into an area looking for a camera, and I turned around and
Corn.
went, "Wait a minute, nothing looks familiar. Where am I?" You know, and it's like, yeah, I was just walking down this canyon, and I'd look back, and all of a sudden, it's not what it normally looks like. You know what I mean? So, um, I have experienced memory loss. Um, for sure, that was how they barricaded that trail up on me. Um, and
How they
I
do that,
have,
Bama? Man,
what's that?
look at it. They put zap for dogs. For dogs.
I
Man,
definitely think they
poor
do.
thing.
I don't. You know, they'll
Yeah,
definitely zap a problem dog that's yapping and barking and running into the brush and stuff like that. Bama's dog is really
her dog's
mellow.
pretty. Yeah, really mellow. But I think he's more
Yeah,
keen on their area, and I think they didn't like that because every time they're out there, he's zeroed in on them.
that
I watched her video
Bama's
tonight. That
dog
dog's
can
amazing.
literally almost pinpoint him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've watched
So,
a lot of videos of hers, and it's crazy.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Her dog is on top of it, and he don't bark. He might bark a little bit, but he's not going nuts. he'll sit there and he'll stare.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yep.
and
Who was that, Oscar?
I've gone into areas and come out of them and stuff and just been completely wiped of energy for the next 3 days to a point to where I couldn't even walk. You know what I mean? And that had nothing to do with the
Never
terrain.
gotten that. Yeah, I don't think I've ever had that before.
But I mean,
I had it where they told me not to go somewhere. That's it.
Right. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I listen to that now. You know what I mean? I listen to that a little more now than I did back then. But
I listened to the first day I've heard it, and because I was so new, I never felt that way before. Something telling me not to go somewhere. That was really strange.
Yeah, you get that
because I've never felt that before. And then I looked at it like I was telling Christy before. It's almost like you're getting in trouble by your parent for something you never did, and you kind of look at them like, "Are you crazy?" or or in that defensive mode. And I looked up in this area when I first got there, like 10 years ago. I looked up at that hill, and I knew not to go up there. I just felt it, and then later on, I figured out that's where the kids were coming down. That's where mom comes down. And I always see the footprints now, and it's like the kids almost the kids get really close to Oscar, and when I call Oscar to come back, and the baby runs back up to the mom, that exact same spot where I know not to go, and then Oscar, you can see Oscar look up there several times. When I'm calling him, he'll come walk up, he'll look up, and he'll look up again because he keeps hearing him running. So,
yeah.
I mean, you can hear my camera running
Yeah.
from my, from Oscar.
They're following you along the hillside. They'll go a little bit and then they'll stop, and then they'll go a little bit and stop. So, yeah, but I've experienced
that thing snapped. That's where Oscar's
the camera strap.
Where that baby keeps going up there. Same spot. Yeah. Yep. Same spot over and over and over.
Right.
Crazy.
Right. Same thing. Yeah. Same thing with Fletch too.
I'm gonna try to do it.
He's walking up to the bush line. You can hear him walking around. He always comes from the same direction and goes to the same spot, which happens to be the thickest spot of the bush line at the moment. But you can hear him walking around. Yeah. It's pretty cool. I wish he would have done that when you were up there. I wish you would have done that when you were up there with me, man. When you were sitting there, just here.
I'm not used to that area. No way, dude. I would have been up that hill.
I would have gotten back to the truck, and he's on the roof of the truck.
Hey, Lewis would have ran so fast, his hair would have got brushed in the wind.
Right.
My hair would have fell out.
What's that cartoon? What's that Naruto where his hair is all like straight back and spikes?
It was bad. It was bad enough. It was bad enough to see the pictures of me sitting there, and then behind me on my peripheral, they're over there watching me. That was bad enough just seeing it after the match.
Hey, I told you they follow me, man. You didn't believe me. It's not my fault.
I don't care what.
I gave you fair warning, sir.
I don't care what anybody says. They are everywhere. You could be in the woods, and one can be 2 feet away from you, and you wouldn't know it.
Yep.
I'll attest to that.
It is true.
I mean, I was probably 3 feet from Fletch when he growled at me.
That sounded like a growl in the background.
Pee on the Bigfoot's leg. One guy peed on a Bigfoot's leg and didn't even know it.
Right.
What? Where was this at?
Yeah. On what's that one talk show? Sasquatch Chronicles.
Oh,
the guy was sitting there. He got out of his van or something. And he went up to the tree line to take a pee, and then he noticed the tree moved, and he's like, "What?" And then it was actually hair. There was a tree. It was his leg, and he looked up and there was a Bigfoot down there.
Once he figured out it was hair, he followed. Once he could focus on it and his eyes adjusted,
he looked up. He
saw what it was, and he looked up and went, Sorry. I mean,
That would have been gone, dude.
what do you say?
I would have.
Sorry? I mean, I mean,
What color is
dude,
Fletch?
black, jet black, jet black, and
He's
he's
a
not.
Wookiee.
He's not one of them big barrel chested ones. He's actually very tall, very cut, real football player looking, real muscular, real athletic. Big feller's the big barrel chested behemoth that's 4 feet wide at the shoulders and 3 feet thick at the chest. He's an absolute massive teddy bear. It's funny. But he's the one I call handsome feller just because he's like exactly the epitome of what people think Bigfoot would look like. Whereas Fletch, look, I used to call Fletch Devil Boy because his facial features are so chiseled. He just looked like one of those cartoon devils, and the name didn't fit him.
He's got a narrow face, or
yeah, real narrow face, very chiseled cheekbones and everything. Just very
like
all protrude out.
Kind of like my face, like.
Right. So very chiseled features, and big feller's he looks like what you think a Bigfoot would look like. Big, huge, massive, hulking Bigfoot face, you know what I mean? I think I'm almost positive that big feller is the oldest because I can actually see scars on his lip, across his nose, and across his eyebrow as if something had scratched him and came across down his lip. I think he's the oldest. He looks the oldest. Fletch probably younger than Big Feller, but I think Mercy is the youngest. And she's just I've sent you pictures of her, Lewis. Her and Big Feller were looking at us at the cave. And she's just a big, huge, fuzzy red teddy bear, So
yeah,
she's just
I know. I got to see what mine looks like in my area now. I didn't want to see it. I just wanted to research. That's all I wanted.
The more you see
mine's mine's like the one that their hair's combed back and pushed it back over the head, and it looks like the nose comes out farther with one of those protruding mouths,
right.
Like the monkey does it. That's what it looked like on there, and then that's a big forehead, and then the deep sunken eyes. That's what mine. All dark gray, real dark charcoal gray.
Yeah, Fletch is jet black. Big feller is black hair but gray skin. And Mercy is actually gray skin with red hair. I'm talking, you've seen Mercy. It's like red, flaming red like me, I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you.
Well, the 1924, when he got carried away, like he said that all four of those Bigfoots, the mom, the dad, the babies, all four of them look totally different. So they could be related. You know what I mean?
It is possible, and I've also talked to Rachel about them, and she made a comment to me that she thinks Mercy might be Anku's niece. So, there's definite bloodlines. You know what I mean? There's definite different families, and I think they know not to intermingle with families, if you know what I mean. So, when you see that one thing I know is if you see one, you don't see the two that are on either side of you.
Yeah.
So if you do see a single one, it's probably what they're doing is just kind of wandering around looking for its own place to go. You know what I mean? So that they don't do the whole interbreeding thing. So
That's true. Or try to take over the clan. That's why they
right,
kick them out.
right,
That's most
you
lions do
know,
the same thing.
right,
You know.
yeah, yeah. A lion will definitely defend the pride till death. You know,
Yeah. They'll
so
pick out their young males, so that they don't try to have to compete against them. A lot of times they try to
right,
do it. Try to take
right.
over the
So,
clan.
but again, I mean, all of this is
But then,
just speculation, theory,
yeah,
you
theory.
know. But
Yeah.
we can't discount it. There's too many people saying the same thing. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
but until we can sit down and talk to one on camera, you know what I mean, to prove it, then we'll never know. But I mean, if even if that did ever happen,
Hey, can I interrupt you for a second? This chat room here, we're not about negative stuff. We don't bash other people's things. So let's keep it cool in here, okay?
No.
We don't put up with that stuff in here, so I'm just letting you know. So anyway, go ahead.
well,
Yeah.
alrighty then. So,
Okay, so wait. Anku, is that how you say that? Anku?
ANKU, yeah, Onku.
Anku, that's a big name.
So, possibly Mercy might be Onku's niece, but Rachel hasn't confirmed that yet. But that was just I do know they're related somehow.
Really?
That was verified, but as for exactly what, we don't know yet. But Rachel got the feeling of niece, so that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool the connection.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
and again
cool.
lays credence to the whole theory. Everything's connected. So
Yep. Yep.
I mean, it really is. Everything is connected. So,
Yep.
So,
Yeah. I was thinking about doing trying to do a documentary on my area. I mean, I've been doing it long enough now to actually try to make one. you just to, but I don't know. I was just kind of going over it in my head, thinking if I should or not.
yeah,
I think that would be pretty neat.
Documentaries take
Take a lot of
years
time.
to make, even just an hour long documentary.
Yeah.
So,
Sometimes I have a tons of videos. I haven't put even half the stuff I have on internet. I mean, I have
right,
just me talking, me sitting, and I mean just hours of just being out there. Used to stay
right,
out weeks at a time. Used to go out every day from 1 in the morning to 6 in the morning.
right.
And just all kinds of stuff. I mean, I could throw a bunch of that stuff in there, but I don't know. It does sound like a lot of work, though.
It is. It's a lot of work for a gamble. You know what I mean? So, it just in a way, posting stuff to our channels is kind of making a long-term mini documentary. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Because I mean, you can go to my channel. If you scroll all the way down, I started the channel, and you can see a timeline of when and where things happened. You know what I mean? So, that's one good thing about YouTube. Is it tells you when it was published. So I mean, speaking for myself, I mean, I know a lot of people don't publish stuff for a couple weeks after they filmed it, but I always try and I go out in that morning and do what I do, and then come back and upload the videos the same day. So the dates are on my channel are correct, you know. So
yeah, that's true.
and then,
Yeah, the same day as you
it's
do it, you're posting the same day.
yeah, right. So as for my channel, if you look at the dates, it's a perfect timeline of when and where things happened. So, and that's a lot of why I do things the way I do them. I don't edit anything. You know, I've adjusted some things throughout the time. You know, like I learned the whole term always be filming. So I always start my camera before I go into a spot, and I keep it going until I walk out. It's one continuous clip, unedited, raw. And you know, I mean, it is what it is. These are my findings. This is what I found this week. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's, you know, sometimes it's just the normal. So,
Yeah.
you know, they keep you on your toes.
Like the book.
You know that.
Yeah. I know. It'd be fun to try it out.
So,
Somebody wants
but
to
yeah, I mean, you can always.
blue on here.
Yeah, they want. Big Rob says make him blue. How you come here? I'll paint you with a marker.
I got blue spray paint out in the garage.
Oh.
I got blue spray paint out in the garage. It's the perfect color. It's absolutely perfect Smurf blue. So
you want to be a moderator, Rob?
Yeah, make him a moderator. You can do it. You can do it.
You
know,
I can't do it. I'm on a cell phone.
I can't do it. I don't know how to mess with that. That's your job, not mine. I got that show going.
I am not saying whether to or not to, but I definitely will say this: that Big Rob has been here since the beginning of this podcast.
Yes,
and he's always very courteous, and he's a good choice. I'll put that in.
ASF.
So you know.
And I'm a big person of not cursing, so.
Well, yeah, Big Rob he's a great guy. So.
Well, I mean, everybody has their opinions about things and about other people's shows, but you know what? It doesn't matter. Right. You know, other people have their own minds, their own opinions about different things. How we all have our own experiences with Sasquatch. Everyone has some kind of connection to it, but it's different in many ways. So, you know, don't come on the show and start babbling about other people's shows, you know? We don't care.
We do what we do, and, you know, I mean, I only discuss, you know, from my own personal experiences and in comparison to others, and a lot of them is very similar, but just slightly tweakedly different, you know?
Yeah, but still, you know, you don't do that to other people's show. You know what? There's some people that you might not like. There's some people that I don't like. But you know what? Let them do their thing. That's them. I'm not.
Yeah. You know, everyone does their own thing. Everyone has their own idea of how they want their shows run. Everyone is, you know.
Yeah, but wait, hold on.
This is ours, you know, very rare, very raw.
Hold on, Lockbeard. We understand certain things and aspects, and I'm not trying to put you down. I'm not judging you because I don't know you. But, you know, I understand that you have a problem with their show. That's fine. But on here, we don't talk about negative things. You know, it's not a good thing. You know what I'm saying? We keep it clean here. So that's all I'm just saying. Just don't come in here and do that, you know?
Yeah.
You want to enjoy the show, listen, comment, and do what you got to do, but don't make it a big deal out of it. You know, just be cool, chill out.
Just all talk. Just all talking. What we're doing? Chit chatting.
Well, you know, whether it's a thumbs up or a thumbs down, it doesn't matter. It's still an interaction to YouTube, and it doesn't hurt the channel. So I hope everyone knows that.
Who the hell cares? Thumbs up, thumbs down.
You're not hurt. You're not hurting nothing. It just
exactly.
You know, so.
And Kendall, that's why
That's why he lurks. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, yeah, it is. And this is what this is what he says. Okay, you spread the evil of censorship, you lose subscribers, and perpetrate the negativity. 440 subscribers just went to 439, and you instantly got 2 dislikes. Is that what you wanted? No, we're not here to infiltrate anybody, you know?
I don't know what evil he's saying that we perpetrate or what censorship.
I have no clue.
I have no idea what the hell he means by that. So whatever, interpretation is different for everybody, you know? I don't
exactly.
I don't see absolutely any validity in that comment. So you know, whatever. If he doesn't like it, then it's simple. Just take your finger and click. That's all it is. Just leave. Don't watch. No one's forcing you to do it. It's your choice.
Exactly.
You know? So that's all there is to it. So let's get back to Bigfoot. That's what we're about. That is what we are about.
That's the subject of the hour.
That is enough. That is enough drama for tonight.
Oh, look who showed up. Barb. What's up, Boots on the Ground with Barb?
Hey, Boots. Boots on the Ground with Barb. All right. Glad to hear you. Hey, look who is here. There's my wife, Jamie Jones.
Oh, hey, Jamie. How you doing?
I know.
There's my wife. She is she's at work.
Aw.
And
not lunch now.
yeah. Unfortunately, honey, it happens. What are you gonna do? So
she's on her 10-minute break.
If I had control over here, I don't think it would have gone that far. But you know. Whatever. It is what it is.
She's like, you know me.
Lewis knows her pretty well, too. So, Lewis knows her pretty well.
I'm not in California, but California is sure beautiful.
Well, I don't know. Lewis has seen another side to that.
What's California?
Yeah.
Over there.
Yeah. Yeah, Lewis has seen the other side of that. He's seen both sides actually in one day.
I keep going south.
So, all right.
Yeah, that was terrible.
No.
Like homeless people on every bridge. It's like one continuous tent for a mile. It's like
you might find condos over there too.
Christy, it's not funny. It literally is.
Yeah.
What do you think it is down here?
They're in the center medians now.
Yeah, they do that down here too.
Yeah.
Like we got overpasses and they got tent city. Oh yeah. Let me explain to you something. You know how New Orleans is famous for Mardi Gras, and of course, you know Mardi Gras is a family event. We got parades in New Orleans, and we got parades on the outskirts.
Right. You have the main parades, and then you have your sub parades.
Well, you got the New Orleans, which is wild and crazy, and then people get nuts and flashing for beads and all that good stuff. But where I'm from, and on the outskirts, we have family. It's family oriented. So I rode in a parade before COVID, and it was fun. You know, you throw the beads. I mean, I got beads back there and all, but you know, it's like you come into New Orleans
Hello.
and you like, you know, you see people laying there with body parts hanging out. You know, I'm like, oh, okay, that's really wonderful. You know,
Well,
you know, I don't know.
I don't know. I've seen some stuff just driving down the road, even without a parade, that would I don't care to discuss on here. So
No, but yeah,
but
no. But you know, one thing we got to do is, as the world turns and as the days go by, you know, I'm putting together my thought, and this is my opinion about things. I believe that the Sasquatch are coming together to interact with certain people, and you know, each story is pretty much the same about how we do need to change the world. We really do.
oh yeah,
We need to change.
Well,
It starts with me. It starts with you. It starts with the people in the chat room. You know, we have got to change it. We have got to make this place better. I mean, it's like we're sinking down. You know, we're taking land. I mean, developing, which I understand, but we have got to start
right,
somewhere.
right,
You know?
right. I do think that Sasquatch are definitely kind of handpicking certain people to interact, maybe grooming to be kind of ambassadors. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because yeah, you know, I mean, you're absolutely right. You know, I mean, the way this world is going is not in a good way.
No, it's
And
not.
when I think of it, I think of a toilet with the water swirling down into the sewer.
Yeah.
You
You
know,
know, and believe me, there's no directions that come with anything except for putting together a desk or whatever.
and there's no good outcome from the direction it's going. There's
No.
no positivity at the end of the line. It's just more negativity, more negativity.
Yeah, more COVID, more this and more that. You know, it's just like we have got to break this cycle. I mean, you know, it starts off like I always tell people: if you see trash on the ground, start picking it up. You know, whether you got gloves on, if you got a paper towel or something, pick it up. You know,
Right. Yeah.
a
You know,
little bit.
we're all on this rock together.
Right, and it's like a chain reaction. When I look at you and I'm walking down the street and I'm looking at you, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna smile.
But
What you gonna do?
I think a lot of the way this world is going is because of the false information being fed to the masses by, you know, certain outlets. And you know, until we can get
Right,
back to
Daniel.
what real journalism is.
Right. Well, I don't watch none of that news. The only time I watch the news is with
Well,
the weather. You know, that's the only
I
time I watch.
know, but majority of the population of this world do watch the news.
Yeah. Well,
So, you know,
it's all a
so
bunch of shiznick. You know, so I
no,
don't even bother with it.
yeah.
You know,
So
I got other things. We got other things in our life that we need to tend to instead of worrying about if this one and that one went into the White House and made it a circus area. You know,
so
I
let's
don't
just
care.
leave that at that.
Yep.
We'll get
So,
back to Bigfoot. So Tom Paul's got a Tom
Go
Paul
ahead.
Cajun has a good question. Have y'all had anything thrown at you?
Yes,
I
I
know
have
I can say I have.
Yeah, I have.
pebbles.
So
A
wait,
log.
so
I had
let's
a
go.
log
Let's
actually thrown at me.
just go around the screen, Christy. What did you have thrown at you? Tell
Well,
your
I had it
story.
on 3 different occasions. I was out in Mississippi, had one throw a pebble at me. Not at me, but on the side of me. And then when I was in Arkansas, I had me and the landowner's wife was going to look for some arrowheads, and we out in this field not too far from the camp, and I heard boop. I said, "Did you hear that?" Yep. I picked up the rock and I went, "Ha! You threw a rock at me," and I threw it back. But 2 seconds later, I heard boop. And she got kind of iffy, and she's like, "You ready to go back?" I'm like, "No, but yeah, whatever, you know. Follow the lead."
So, Lewis, let's hear your story. I've heard it. I heard. I heard. Tell the good one.
That was when they were doing some power line work in the area where I was at, and then I was going to get dropped off that weekend, and I was going to stay for a few days, and well, they're over there where I usually get dropped off, so I told my ride to go around the other side and drop me off on the other side, and then I got dropped off, and I hauled all my stuff up to where I was going to get it, move up to where I was going to camp out. So I did all that, and then that night I had some eye shine to the right of my camp, and I'm in this horseshoe-shaped area down low, and so everything around me is higher. So you can kind of walk up and then get up there, but it's kind of steep. And then I saw the eye shine, so I went to bed, and then the next night I was out there, and the eye shine moved from that spot to the left, over closer to the service road, where you couldn't climb up that. And I was sitting there, a strobe light in the eyes, and then it started rocking back and forth, moving around. And then I heard something walking into the brush right next to me, and I think it was the younger one. That's how I'm taking it. And then the big male with the 19-inch foot was up on the hill. This is the side I never go on, and it makes me nervous to even be over there. And then right after I heard him walking, then I heard him throw something off the mountain. I think it was a log, and you can hear it on my video. You can hear the walking, and then the log landing. And then I went to bed after that. So that's the next day. So I'll cut it short.
Yeah, my rock throwing experience was when I was trying to retrieve a camera I had left in the Fawnskin area after they had barricaded the trail on me with the big logs. I was working my way through the logs, and we're not talking logs, we're talking logs. I mean, 3-4 foot thick that you would need heavy equipment to move. And you can actually go to my channel and see me walk up this trail. It's completely clear. I go back 6 weeks later, and I mean, I literally have to climb over logs, under them, and snake my way through. That was also from the same area of memory loss that I had experienced. So I was making my way through the logs, and I 20 feet, probably 230-ish, up on a hill about 20-25 feet, I got a growl. And I just put my, "Hey, buddy, just here to get my camera, man. So we got 2 ways we can do this. You can let me in to go get it, or you can go get it and I'll wait here patiently for you. Either way, I'm getting that camera." Well, after I said that, a rock about the size of a baseball came out of the bush. So I threw the rock back, and hindsight is 20/20. I wish I hadn't done that, because after I threw the rock back, a rock about the size of a bowling ball came flying out of that bush, and that was when I'm good. You can have the camera. I don't want it. I'm out. Yeah. So
I wouldn't want it back either.
Yeah. I haven't been back there since. So I am forbidden by my wife to go back there. And to be honest, I don't want to go back there. They don't want people back there. I mean, that's the Claudia. That's west of the Claudia Ackley area. It's in
Oh,
that
okay.
same mountain range. And if you've listened to the Claudia Ackley stories, you know, even after her initial sighting, she's like, no, there's something out there that don't want people out there. There's Bigfoot out there, but there's something else out there that's a lot meaner. So
Right.
I'm good. I'm good. I lost a very expensive camera and I did it with due diligence and I tried and it did not succeed. And I'm more than willing to let that very expensive camera go. So it's
Hey,
all good.
it's
It is.
always can it can always be it can always be replaced.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
So and my wife is on here. Says other creepy stuff happened too. Yes, a lot of creepy stuff has happened in that area just in the few times that I've been there. A lot of creepy stuff. So
Well, I can
we don't go there no
imagine.
more. We don't go there no more. So we're good, you know. But it was one of the areas that really got me to really move more into okay. They're definitely in the local mountains, which is only 2.5 hours away, which is where that spot was. Now, let me get on Google Earth and look at this mountain range. And well, that mountain range V's out and joins the mountain range that I frequent now. So at some point, they do converge with a simple freeway going right through it. Well, you
Yeah,
do
but
that
that really
freeway at
matters.
night, ain't no
Yeah.
one ever going to see you because there ain't no one on it. So, very
And
easy to
even if
get
they did
from
see
one
you, nobody's
side
gonna
to the
believe you
other,
anyway.
you know?
Yep.
So, um,
Look,
yeah,
look what your wife said. That's the truth. I was about to say that. She took the words right out of my mouth.
yeah. So, after, after telling her the stories of what happened, she's like, yeah, we're not going back there anymore. No, you know, that
Yep.
goes to,
Not worth it.
that was with the two bodies found in my area and all the creepy stuff that happened to me.
No kidding, right?
Yeah, we don't.
Probably did get
What's
something
that?
on it. He
So,
probably did. That's why they kept it, probably because they knew there's a picture on there.
Probably
well,
so.
I think you know, one of my videos, which I'll never forget, this is called "My Wife Is the Best." Way down in my list, and I'm sitting with my back to a huge pine tree, huge Douglas fir pine tree, and I'm sitting there resting, and out in front of me is this kind of this sandy meadow, and I'm looking around, and I'm going, this looks like footprints everywhere. But you know how a beach looks? There, you can tell someone stepped there, but there's no definition. And we're talking everything
Right.
from
Yep.
5 to 6 inches to 22 inches. Thousands of them everywhere.
Yep.
And the first thing that came to my mind is, oh, this is where they let the kids play. Well, right down that valley is where I put that very expensive camera.
Right.
And I think I happened to put it in the right place at the wrong time. And they weren't expecting anybody to go wandering through the woods and stuff the way I do. Everyone sticks to the trails, as I've demonstrated in many, many, many videos of the places I frequent now. Um, it just, it was all by happen chance. And that section of memory loss that I had of that trail that got barricaded happened to be the link from one valley to that valley. So they screwed with my brain They wiped out that site. I literally had to go back and watch videos to figure out what I did. And once I figured it out, we went back 6 weeks later, and that whole trail was barricaded. And I have video of it completely clear. I smashed rocks. I picked up rocks on that trail and did rock clacks. Completely clear. And then I go back and it just looks like a war zone. We're not talking new trees. We're talking old gray trees that have been down for a while were moved across that whole trail about 75 yards. So
I wouldn't doubt it. Yep.
Whatever's back there, they don't want anybody back there. And I'm assuming it had to do with kids. So.
Maybe so.
You know. I'll never know because I ain't never going to go back there.
Could have been their hunting grounds too.
Could have been. Could have been like it with all the little footprints. It could have been like a little training ground for the kids. Who knows? You know. Who knows? I mean.
Here's something I can tell you about. When we was in Arkansas, we was down in like a kind of a ravine or whatever with a ridge, and it looked like they had like a ambush setup thing. But there was also bushes, like big, kind of like I don't know. It was a bush like this. They ripped it up from the ground, and they flipped it
upside down.
Upside down, and they had several of them in an area. And I'm wondering, it's like a barricade, but I'm wondering if it was for showing their children how to, train them.
Who knows? But I mean, Northern Idaho. If you go to my Northern Idaho channel, I found a kill box right in my father-in-law's backyard. There was a deer trail that came down probably 30 feet into the wood line, right down to where the backyard comes around, and they had taken all the trees and snapped them down into a funnel. And right at the end of that funnel, they busted them all down into each other, which made a box. Now, right off to the right was a big, huge teepee structure where all the trees had been pushed over into this teepee structure. And there was a trail that came into that teepee structure from the backside. But it didn't go anywhere after that. That teepee structure was the destination for that trail. So what I think they were doing is they were running the deer down, pouncing on it from each side when the deer hit that wall that they built. Right. So yeah, I definitely do think that they make kill boxes for sure. They'll funnel them down, they'll slow them down, and then they'll pounce. So
yeah, maybe so.
Somebody
said, what do you think of some of their crazy structures are for? Well, I
think
I could go with some of them are boundary markers. Like I discussed with somebody, like I had found X's on the ground, X's in trees. I found 2 lines like this with kind of like this, but the stick, it was on an angle, kind of like this, like an H.
Right.
And I found like rectangles. I found all kind of weird things. But the 2 that really got to me was when I was out on lunch break for work. I looked up in the sky, and the chemtrails were over my head. Well, I happened to look, and I seen that one like this. I matched it up to the one I had taken a picture of. They also had an X with another line, like here's the X, and the big long stick was across it. I have
like
that
an asterisk.
too. like an X with the X with a stick on top of it.
Right, like a star symbol.
I was like baffled when I seen those two, and I matched them up. Well, I actually had three. I matched them all up, and I'm going, oh my god, that is surreal. So
Yeah.
my interpretation of things is I think that the little ones are playing with the sticks, kind of like what we do with toddlers, kids, play with the Legos and put them together, the blocks, and build things.
Right.
So they look up in the sky and they see that and they go, ooh, I
Yeah.
wonder I can put something together.
It's the same thing, is our children with their children, they see something and they want to try and make it themselves.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I wonder if I can make that. What can I do? You know what I mean? That's that's serious, serious brain working right there. You know what I mean? It's not instinct. That's thought.
Yeah. Higher intelligence.
Yes.
Yep.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. As for what their structures are, I mean, I've found a lot of structures. I've found quite a few structures, from Palm Springs to Fawn Skin, even in the area now. One thing they all do provide is cover. It's obvious that it's not cover from weather, obviously. I think it's cover as to hide from people or to hide from prey. So, I mean, obviously, it ain't going to do, I mean, big, huge lean-to structure isn't going to protect you in a snowstorm or a rainstorm or anything, obviously. Yeah, I think you can see through it from the inside in all directions. So I think it's a prey, like a hunting blind, And here's a thought for everybody. Did we get the idea for hunting blinds from them? Did someone hundreds of years ago see one of them build something, hide in it, and hunt prey? Is that where they got the idea? The idea had to come from somewhere, right? So is it possible that someone maybe hundreds or maybe even thousands of years ago saw them doing it and adapted it to human use? Something to get the brain going, I mean, you never know. You never know. I mean, it's like,
that's a good idea. Look what Duke's in the house, by the way.
right?
World Bigfoot Radio. This is a good thing. Look, we got the idea of the ghillie suits from them.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
That is true.
Yep. There you go. Ghillie suits, hunting blinds, I mean, what else has been have we adapted to us that we saw them do? You know what I mean? So
exactly. we learn from past years ago. We learned from them, and they learn from us.
Right. We, all three of us know, without a shadow of a doubt, from our own personal experiences, that they're right here. We don't need to go way out in the woods to find them. They're watching us all the time out there. So yeah, I mean, teepees, Can-Am teepees. Yeah, I mean, Indians.
Right.
Did the Indians get the idea of teepees from them? Because I have heard several stories where people have said that the Indians lived and coincided side by side with them
Yep.
as it was intended to be. They would trade things back and forth, you know? So did the Indians adapt?
And you always see trees up like teepee shape against trees all the
You
time
know?
with them. They
Right,
always put
right.
things up like that.
Were they making the
Not in
teepee
my area, but in
structures?
wooded
And
areas.
Indians saw that and said, hey, you know, if we put deer hide around that, that'd be a great structure for us to live in. It's
Well,
that simple.
well, here's another thing: taking rocks to make a fire pit,
Right?
to build things structure-wise. You know how
I
they,
found fake fire pits.
yeah.
I found fake fire pits where there was wood in there, but if you dig into it, there's no ash. There is absolutely no ash. It's never been burned. So the thing about that, that's kind of an iffy thing. Did humans see them do it or did they see us do it? You know what I mean? So, but it's still, it could go either way. Either way, one of us is adapting something from us to them or from them to us. You know, the adaptation is still there. So, you know,
Yep, rock
it's
art
obvious.
formation.
It's obvious they know about fire. You know, that's why these fake fire pits are never burned. They see what fire does to their homes. You know, so
Well, not only that, if you're sitting next to the fire, you can't even see in the woods. So we'd be in the woods watching them at the
right,
fire.
right, right. You know,
And you'd be like, oh, this is not good.
I mean, we're sitting by a fire. We got to go use the tree, and you know, you go walking into the dark. It takes a minute or two for our eyes to adjust to the light. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So it's probably their eyes are probably a lot like ours, but different at the same time. You know, I think they probably have way better sight in the dark than humans do. You know, but there's
Good
probably
out there.
still that adjustment period. You know, so it's just, you know, it's all theory. You know what I mean? It's just when you get into it, you know, as deep as all of us do, you start to think of this stuff. You know what I mean?
Look what Duke says.
Oh, dude, it's there would be no game. It'd just be Glag running the show the whole time. I mean, you can have an entire human football team hanging off the legs of Glag, and he's just like touchdown every time. It doesn't. It just, no, that wouldn't be a game. It would be funny to see, but there would be no game because it would just be
Yeah.
Glag winning every time. So, you know,
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. That's a
I
big
mean,
dude.
and Kevin Lang is a big part of, you know, a big part of this, you know, and he was really under the radar. You know what I mean? If it wasn't for Duke and World Bigfoot Radio, I don't think a lot of people would have ever even heard of him. I know of Kevin through Lady in the Woods. That's how I heard of Kevin before he was ever even on World Bigfoot Radio. But you know, I mean, one of the last things Kevin got to do with the help from a group of friends was go back up to Montana and see Glag and his family. You know, and I'm glad I mean, I heard that story. I mean, I had tears running down my eyes just because I know how much Glag meant to Kevin. You know,
Yeah, Duke.
how much Glag meant to Kevin and how much Kevin meant to Glag. It was
An unbreakable bond.
It was absolutely because they came from the same place.
Yes.
In life. You know what I mean?
You know,
Duke
actually helped him get up there to go see Glag.
Right. You know,
with the help of people.
And when you have that bond, Glag knew he was there.
Yeah.
Absolutely, Glag knew he was there. and Kevin said he was what, 14 and a half feet tall. He could scoop Kevin up in the palm of his hand. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
They were the epitome of the term best friends. I mean, that is the definition right there. You know what I mean? And it just Kevin didn't BS. You know what I mean? This was not. I mean, if he had had a cell phone camera when he was, going through all of this in high school, let me tell you some of the footage that guy would have. The whole topic would just not be discussed anymore because it would be accepted. Yes, they exist if Kevin had a video camera back then, for sure. Yeah, it was that connection. He knew he was coming. He freaking knew, and he was there waiting.
Yeah, he said that. He said Glag was waiting for him when we showed up.
Absolutely.
And then wait, Tom Paul had this question: how fast and how far could they throw a ball?
I think we wouldn't see the ball leave the stadium. It would be that fast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah.
It's
it'd be like 10 football fields,
Yeah. I mean, you would definitely have to have an oversized arena for that game, for sure.
Oh yeah.
For sure. Yeah,
you're right, Bama. Rest in peace, Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin is and will be greatly missed, for sure.
Yeah.
But I know where he is. I know where Kevin is right now.
Watching down on him.
Nope, he's standing right by Glag's side right now. That's where Kevin is, because that's where Kevin wants to be. He's standing right side by side with Glag right now. Even though in spirit, he's standing there. And I mean, he's had stories of Glag helping other people.
Yeah.
The lady that got tossed off the horse. He carried that lady out to the road, set her down, and walked away. I mean, you hear Duke knows this firsthand. You hear nothing but negative stories about these beings, these people. Very rarely do you hear what they're really like. You know what I mean? So, and I can personally attest to that. I walked around the bush and Fletch growled at me. But you can tell when you've heard enough growls, you can tell by the feeling of what they mean. The growl I got out in Fawnskin, that feeling was, okay, you've gone far enough. You're not going to go any further. That's it. That's the line. You're not going. And I stopped. When Fletch growled, when I came around the bush, and Fletch growled at me, I got the feeling of, oh crap, where'd he come from? That was the feeling I got. You know what I mean? So, I mean, we don't know what these things mean, but that was just the feeling I got. I didn't run. I stepped it to my left, and got my phone out and started recording. And again, going back to, okay, you're focused on this one, but you didn't see the other two that were right next to you. And I didn't. Big fella was right to my left watching all of this unfold from the bushes. And he just stood there, just watched, completely still. And I've demonstrated the same tactic myself in that area, standing right in the middle of the open where anybody walking down the trail can see me. And if you don't move, people don't see you. You know?
I'm telling you.
So, you know, they're smart. They're smart. They get it. They figure out how we operate. And they adapt their tactics to that, which is why they're so good at it.
Yep.
You know?
Look, there's an Oscar Squatch.
An Oscar Squatch. And he's got a mohawk. And he's got a mohawk. So.
That's the dog man.
Yeah, the dog man.
Oh. Well, he's looking.
Oh, yeah. Ken says, Oscar knows them Sasquatch. Yes,
yeah,
he does. Yes, he does. And
he won't go in some spots with me.
And my dogs do too. Monkey is seen one in Idaho, and even if I even show the little plastic figure to Nugget, he won't even look at it.
Yeah, see,
the dog won't even look at a plastic figurine of a big.
Nope.
He turns his head and gets this little worried whine, but he won't look at it. It's funny. So they know. They know. Don't mess with those.
Yep.
You know? So no.
It's just so inevitable how they are intelligent.
They're absolutely. Their intelligence is I would say surpassing human for sure, because look at what they do out there. They go unseen.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They know how to hide. They know where to hide. They know how to survive. They don't have any technology. They don't have any clothing. They are strictly living off of the land. And look at how successful they are. You know? Yeah, that's one thing I've learned is that they adapt to their environment, whereas humans adapt to the environment to us. You know, we come in with bulldozers, we flatten it all out, we lay concrete and asphalt, we build buildings, you know. Yeah. So it doesn't get any more natural than what they do, you know. That is for sure.
Yeah.
I tell you. So we are on an hour and 27 minutes. What y'all think?
I'm good.
I'm ready to go.
I'm good. I think unless anybody's got any more, unless anybody in the chat's got any more questions. Yeah, if there's any more questions in the chat, you know, I think we've divulged enough information for people to absorb for a little while, you know.
For a little.
Yeah.
And I'll put out a notification. I just totally forgot to put out a notification too. So
right.
I'll put one out this
so
time.
It's also the same thing with them, is that they'll feed us little spoonfuls of stuff. They'll feed us little spoonfuls of stuff that they think that we can handle. And they'll keep feeding little spoonfuls of stuff until we get to a point to where we get uncomfortable. And once we start to get uncomfortable, they'll mellow out and they'll let you get used to it.
Right.
You know? It's the same for people, you know what I mean? They get fed little spoonfuls of information until they get uncomfortable, and then they'll stop feeding. You know, it's the same thing for me. You know, and hearing Fletch walk around. The first time I heard his footsteps, my heart was beating a freaking mile a minute. I thought I was going to have a heart attack. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know if I should go put his stuff in his spot or what, or if I should just stay there, or if I should leave. so many different things going through my head. And you know what? I was like, you know what? I've been coming here for how long? That's exactly where he wants me to go because that's what I've been doing. He expects me to do it, so why would he hurt me? You know what I mean? And I went and I did it, and now, I mean, he's been coming up and walking around for the last 5 or 6 weeks. You can hear his footsteps, and it's funny too because it's like I whistle, and he'll hear it, and then I'll whistle again, and he'll start running up. You can hear his footsteps. It will slow down as it gets up to the bush line now, and now I get excited. Oh, here he comes! Here he comes! You know, so it's a total just in those few weeks. You know what I mean? It's a total different outlook on the experience now. You know, it went from oh crap, what do I do to oh here he comes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's cool. You know.
Yeah. From the time you went out before, you weren't sure, kind of nervous about
Right.
going out there.
Right.
Even giving them food, you were like, but now you turned a whole new page. Now learning a lot
Right.
new stuff just by doing the things that you weren't sure about.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
You know,
Cool.
like those pumpkins, man. I took 3 pumpkins out there. The one at Fletch's area disappeared. And there was 2 at Mercy's, one for Big Feller and one for Mercy. One of them disappeared. I can't find it. The only one I found was the big one with the big bite in it. And that's exactly what I wanted. I made a comment of it in that Halloween video. Oh, wouldn't that be cool if one of them picked it up, took a big bite, and dropped it? They gave me what I wanted.
Yeah,
they
that's
heard me say that, you know?
Yeah, the taste.
But I got a feeling that pumpkin was Big Feller for sure. That pumpkin was Big Feller. When I held that thing, that was the feeling I got from it, you know? So it definitely makes me feel that he's the one in charge, you know? So
I'm kind of I was thinking maybe it was maybe a smaller one. There's a lot of reports saying
that thing was
in the full-grown Bigfoot, you could put 2 big softballs side by side in their mouth.
oh yeah.
That pumpkin there was just a little bit bigger than a softball.
Oh, it was actually
that could have been a youngster, and you could see the teeth all the way around, like a shark bite.
I think it was investigative bites.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it was investigative bites, turning it, looking at it, playing with it.
Yeah, a couple of them.
The stem. I did keep the stem though because the stem has a perfect straight line on it, top and bottom.
Yeah, I couldn't believe they actually penetrated some of that. That's a hard stem.
Oh yeah, and he sunk into that 3/16 of an inch.
Yeah, grew in it.
Oh, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's crazy.
And those teeth are 3/4 of an inch wide.
Yeah,
at the measurement, on the measurement. And if you know how pumpkins work, they might stretch a little bit. So that tooth may have been more than 3/4 of an inch wide. And then when it came out of the pumpkin shrunk a little bit. You know? And plus it did sit out there in the sun for 2 weeks also, which would have made it shrink also. So
at
the time of measuring that pumpkin, that was 2 weeks later. So there had to be a little bit of shrinkage there. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say that tooth was 3/4 of an inch wide to 1 inch wide, somewhere in there. You know,
as that's still really wide.
Average. So, but it was incredible. I mean, I got what I wanted. You know what I mean? I really wish I could have freaking preserved it, you know, but it's I don't know. I would have. You can't go to Home Depot and buy, you know, something to preserve a pumpkin. You know, and
well, you could have just used the well, I'm gonna try this stuff also, but they use it in a paint can and they have it in a spray can. It's that Flex Seal, and you can actually spray a cast of Flex Seal, and it'll be all rubber,
right.
but it won't deteriorate. It won't go away.
Yeah, that
you can
stuff's
always do that. You can always paint the whole thing and then cut it in half.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you want to preserve something like that, that's pretty cool.
You know, a lot of people made comments on my channel and stuff. Oh, just gut it out really good and shellac it. And
you could have, yeah.
And I looked on the internet, and everyone kept saying the best way to preserve a pumpkin, whether carved or not, is a bleach bath, because the bleach bath stops all the microbial growth and stuff that deteriorate, you know, which is the rot.
Yeah.
And that's what I kept coming back to and stuff. And they're like, okay, well, let's try it, you know. And I did it, and I picked up the stem, and the stem fell out, and everything just kind of caved in on itself. And you know, at least I got video, and I did take a lot of still pictures of it, of every angle. So, you know.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
But yeah, that pumpkin was, I would say that pumpkin combined 3 softballs. It would be that size. It was, you know,
not hard balls. Hard balls are small.
A big bite. I mean, and when he took that big bite, he had the stem in his mouth. So
yeah, I saw. Yeah, I couldn't believe the stem was in his mouth. And yeah, how big that the roof of his mouth must have been. Did not hit the roof of his mouth when he bit down on that. That's crazy.
Right. Yeah. It's just incredible. But,
mouth,
you know, I'm glad it lasted long enough for me to get it home and to get it measured and to do video on it and take all the still pictures of it and everything like that. So I definitely got
measurements on camera. So that's important too.
Yeah, you know, I mean, some of the measurements were kind of hard, you know, just because of the shape of it. You know, like I explained, you know, okay, when you measure something, you know, the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. So when you add an arch to it, it adds length. So I tried to do both measurements around the arch and then try and eyeball it straight across. You know what I mean? And you know, just take a guesstimate, and then we'll just call whatever's in the middle the average. So, you know, yeah, I tried to do it the best I could, but I think I think I did it. I think I did due diligence in that, you know, the best I could. So,
yeah,
you know,
you recorded it good.
No.
We got to cut this down because I got to go to the bathroom pretty darn bad. So, and I have to get on camera.
Alrighty.
My God.
Everybody. Lewis, it's been an absolute wonderful time having you here again. Glad to see you back.
Yeah, it's fun.
We hope John pulls through. We definitely send our prayers out to him. And thank you to everybody in the chat for joining us.
Yeah, thank you, everybody.
Even amongst the little tidbit of drama, which we definitely try and stay away from.
Who was that wanted to be a moderator? You remember?
Big Rob. Big Rob.
Okay, I'll make sure I add him to it. Okay.
Oh, yeah, it's like Big Rob 3000. So, thank you to everybody, and we're just kind of winging it at this point. We don't know what's going on for next Sunday, but definitely
not yet. I don't know anything yet.
Stay tuned. We'll keep y'all posted. If anything, we'll just
I'll put something up.
Yeah. So, all right, everybody. Y'all have a good night. You have a safe week, and we'll see y'all next Sunday.
Next Sunday, on time.
I know, huh? So, all right, everybody. Y'all have a good night, and see y'all later.